Betrayal hits harder than almost anything else in life. Not because of what someone did to you, but because of what it exposes inside you. It shows you who you trusted, who you believed in, who you opened yourself to, and who wasn't strong enough, honest enough, or loyal enough to carry the weight of that trust. Most people handle betrayal with rage, or with revenge fantasies, or by shutting down completely. But the Stoics saw betrayal not as a wound to obsess over, but as a chance to rise into a stronger, clearer version of yourself. To them, betrayal wasn't the end. It was the unveiling. You don't learn someone's character when they're comfortable. You learn it when their loyalty is tested, and they choose themselves over their integrity. The Stoics taught that you should never be shocked when people fail to meet the standards they never committed to. People betray because they are driven by fear, weakness, insecurity, ego, or convenience. It's rarely about you. It's almost always about them. What hurts is the expectation you placed on someone who wasn't capable of holding it. When you're betrayed, the mind tries to replay the story over and over again. You look for the moment you missed, the sign you ignored, the thing you could have done differently. But betrayal doesn't come from one moment. It comes from someone's nature, a nature you didn't want to see. The Stoics believed that pain becomes suffering only when the mind insists on holding it longer than necessary. So they approached betrayal with clarity, not emotion. Not coldness, clarity. First, they accepted reality without exaggeration. A person showed their true character. That's all. No dramatic narratives. No emotional spirals. No trying to rewrite the past. Just pure acknowledgement, this is who they are. And that clarity brings a specific kind of peace, the peace that comes when illusions finally die. But Stoics didn't stop there. They understood that how you respond to betrayal determines whether it poisons you or frees you. A man who reacts with rage allows the betrayer to control him twice, first through the act, then through the reaction. A man who reacts with desperation hands over his dignity. A man who reacts with self-blame wounds himself more than the betrayer ever did. A Stoic responds differently. He steps back mentally and observes his own emotions like a soldier assessing damage on the battlefield. Not to suppress the emotion, but to prevent the emotion from ruling him. He feels the sting but refuses to let the sting define him. Betrayal tests your control over yourself more than your control over anyone else. And that's the exact battlefield the Stoics trained for, the battlefield within. A Stoic looks at betrayal and thinks, what part of me needs to become stronger? What expectation needs to change? What boundary needs to be fortified? What illusion needs to be buried? He doesn't chase revenge, because revenge ties you to the person who failed you. He doesn't chase closure, because closure is a myth people use to justify emotional dependence. He doesn't chase explanations, because no explanation changes what someone chose to do. Instead, he moves his focus back to the one thing he can always control, the quality of the man he is becoming. The Stoics believe that betrayal is not something to punish others for, but something to refine yourself through. If someone lied, you strengthen your discernment. If someone abandoned you, you strengthen your independence. If someone disrespected you, you strengthen your boundaries. If someone underestimated you, you strengthen your resolve. Betrayal becomes fuel. Not bitterness. Fuel. Because betrayal has a strange gift hidden inside it, it forces you to rebuild from a place of truth. You stop pretending people are better than they are. You stop giving loyalty to the wrong ones. You stop expecting depth from shallow people. You stop offering trust to those who treat it like convenience. The man you become after betrayal is always more grounded, more aware, and more aligned than the man you were before it. The Stoics believe that once someone betrays your trust, they reveal a limitation in themselves, not in you. A limitation you must acknowledge, not ignore. And instead of trying to change them, you adjust your expectations and choices moving forward. Not out of anger. Out of wisdom. A Stoic never hates the betrayer. Hatred keeps the wound open. A Stoic lets go, not because the person deserves forgiveness, but because he deserves peace. He moves on without theatrics. He cuts access quietly. He removes emotional privileges. He refuses to argue. He refuses to justify. He refuses to be pulled back into the very energy that betrayed him. He walks forward with clarity, not noise. And in doing so, he sends the strongest message a man can send: my peace is more valuable than your presence. Betrayal hurts because it cuts you where you trusted most. But it also reveals the truth you needed most. And once you see that truth, you cannot unsee it. The Stoic way is simple: accept the truth. Extract the lesson. Fortify your character. And move forward as a stronger man than the one who was betrayed. Because betrayal doesn't define you, how you rise after it does.